All right, so the 50-year mortgage. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's got their thoughts on it. But I just want to share my thoughts. I'm in the mortgage industry, so I see that day to day. And I kind of see some positives with it. I still see some negatives with it. But just know this is not going to be the standard mortgage still. This is going to be more of an option to home buyers, similar to how a down payment assistance is also an option. That's kind of the way I see it because most people aren't staying in their homes 50 years, let alone 30 years. They're usually going to sell and take that equity and move on to the next home. So one of the negatives with this is you're going to have a little bit less equity going into your next home compared to a 30-year as you would with a 50-year. So whenever you're going to buy the next house, you're not going to have as much equity just because you're paying a little bit more interest up front. But let's say you're trying to buy a house and your debt to income ratio is a little bit higher to where you may not qualify. I think the 50-year mortgage is going to come in and help a lot of people that may not be qualified before, but now they're going to be qualified just based on their debt to income ratio because it is going to reduce that number. And also it's going to reduce your monthly payment. It's not going to be a huge, significant decrease in your monthly payment, but it is going to be enough to where you can get qualified for this house and get into a house. And again, this doesn't have to be throughout the life of the loan. You can refinance out of this 50-year mortgage into a 30-year mortgage really at any time, but whatever works for you during that time is really what's going to be best for you. So this is not going to be something that's going to be very common to people. It's going to be more like, say, if anybody, similar to how somebody needs down payment assistance. They're like, okay, yeah, I need a little bit of help with funding and closing cost. So you'll use down payment assistance, similar to how you'll use this. You may have the money, you may be able to afford the monthly payment, but you may not qualify based on your debts that you currently have. So I see this as a good example of somebody to use in order to get them qualified. And again, I also see this kind of good for some investors too. So say your monthly mortgage payment is lower than the fair market rent that you're going to be charging for the area. You're going to be paying a little bit less per month as you would for a 30-year if you go with the 50-year route. And with that, you're going to have a lower monthly payment. You're going to collect a little bit more for the fair market rent between that amount that you're paying for the mortgage and, of course, the rental amount. And you're going to have a little bit more in your pocket every month as compared to whenever you go to sell. You're not going to have that instant equity. It's going to be kind of more of a residual income throughout the months whenever you're collecting those checks. So it's not going to be the option for everybody. It's like there's good, there's bad, but I don't see it as another 2008. Of course not. Everything is very regulated nowadays to where you got to go through and so many eyes are going to see your file and loan to make sure that it's going to be good so whenever we go to sell it.